So I've known this gentleman for when I started the company about 15 years back, and he has completed a long time in the industry. It's not that the intention of giving a lifetime achievement award is to make him sit and retire. The idea is to learn a lot from him because it's a small industry. At the end of the day, we all will come to that stage when we have to pass the baton and we have to show our learnings to the people. And it feels great to call on stage Mr. Harish Kohli, MD Acer India. I've known Harish for a long time, and it's a great honor to give him the award. Mr. Harish, you've completed 23 years in Acer. You have so much to talk and so much to share. Please, the mic.
Good evening. 9:35 in the evening, and he expects me to say a few things. I'm more than certain each one of you is more keen to hit the bar, food, and go back home, and that too on a Monday evening. Well, yeah, 23 years is a long time, but 40 years in the IT industry is much more longer. So I've been part of the Indian IT industry now for 40 years. From a time when job was supposed to be a necessity to a situation now where the youngsters today want to give it a try. They keep hopping from one industry to the other, and that's what the world has moved over these 40 years. The first computer which I had sold went in a Matador, and today maybe 10 times more processing power actually only goes in a hand for delivery. So that's the way the world has moved and the way my industry has moved. Not to take too much of time, but since Ramesh has already said that I must say something of wisdom, well, I think we have all the people over here who have all the wisdom available, and that's the reason why they're there wherever they are. However, I think in my own small way, there were only two things that I concentrated on. Number one, people, people, and people. If you can have a stable team, I think it's much easier. And for having a stable team, you need to make sure that you give them the space to do what they are good at. And the good thing is that when you have a team of people, there'll be strengths and strengths and strengths. But for sure, there will be at least 2 to 3 weak areas. So the weak areas is what you need to, I needed to identify. And I only worked on those 3. And left the entire space to my team of people. Because they were very good at that anyway. Majority of the time, if they come over to me, I'm only supposed to be a bouncing board and not a decision maker, because I feel they can do a much better decision making than I can do for them. Because they are good at it, they have the passion, and they have all the experience available with them. And number 2 is the communication. Majority of the time in companies we have seen, you have multiple communications. One is meant for the management team, so there is a revenue number or a bottom line or anything that we want to communicate. And then it's supposed to be inflated to go down, and then further inflation, and then further inflation. So you might just have 4 different data points existing in the company. It just confuses the entire thing. Because there will be some stupid fellows like me who will only remember the number that I thought was the number. And when you communicate this to the youngest of the lot, and it turns out to be so different, then they know there is always a cushion which is being kept by every boss. And that's the demise of a company. Because once you know that there is a cushion and you don't know how much is the cushion, then you have a problem in hand. Because it's okay when you're doing 100% plus, but when you're doing less than 100%, then you have actually no cushion available to you. So in my company, I made sure the communication from myself to the security guard was the same, which was whatever we were supposed to do. Over the last 23 years, something which has eluded me has been $1 billion. And the rupee continuously depreciates. From an era of 40 rupees when I started, it's only gone to 82 rupees, making the job all the time much more difficult. But then that's what has kept me going, and that's what has been making my people go for it. Well, thankfully, we are not too far away in the year 2022. And hopefully, it gives me, when I get out of the company, which will be about 3 years from today, I think it'll give me that satisfaction that $1 billion is something which we were able to do. Thank you very much, and let me not hold you, God.